Hey Tanya, me too. Hi Derek. All right, sounds good. I also Derek, I also messaged the app developers and told them about it, so they're gonna look at your account and I guess they can see a log. So if you were kicked out or something looped on you, then they can take a look at that. So if you want to text me your username um, on the earbuds music, I can send it to them. I hope everybody's doing okay tonight. It's been a rainy day pretty much all day in Los Angeles. If you guys have any questions about in getting your music to play or any issues that you've had with the video, go ahead and post on the chat section of in YouTube. I can try to help you out. We've had, say the yesterday was the or yesterday and the day before some buffering going on, but in Detox it's really not that crucial. Even if it happens, you'll probably be resting in a pose and you just won't hear anything. So stay in the pose, and whenever it comes back in, you can just, as you're learning, slowly and patiently and moving from one pose to the next and enjoying all of the sensations along the way. Hi Saya, good evening. Hey Brian, part due, who's doing their second class for today. And if you missed my explanation around the framework of two classes, it's how we structure our yoga retreats. And so quarantine actually translates in English, or not in English, but it just translates, or another meaning or discipline of quarantine is to retreat. So we incorporated that structure starting April 1st and to offer two classes a day as we would on a yoga retreat. Gives us time to process and to feel everything that's going on, and the practices complement each other. And so you're not doing this for obviously the workout element of it. We're doing this more for the processing of our emotions and what that does for our minds, and creating space and creating peace for ourselves and each other. Sure exactly how that works. I think you can pick up the live stream from the beginning, but if you're a full hour late, it does take, the video will go away, and then it takes about 30 minutes for an hour and for YouTube to process the completed video and for it to show back up on the channel. So 7:30 Pacific time into 8:30, if you're trying to get on right at 8:30 Pacific time, you won't see it. You'll have to wait and check back around 9, between 9 and 9:30 Pacific time, and for it to show up. I'll put out my evening call for props, yoga blocks, pillows, blankets, towels, things that you can pad and put underneath your body and to support yourself in releasing even further. If anybody's joining on the Spotify playlist, if you want to check and just make sure that you're seeing this evening's playlist and let me know on the chat, that'd be great. I've been making them public a little bit earlier. Somebody was saying it can take sometimes an hour for the playlist to show up as public. I'm not sure why. I thought these things happened pretty much immediately, but again, there's a lot more activity going on with the internet. Hi, Debo. about a minute or so, I'm going to start the playlist on the Earbuds Music app if you're following along there. And then I'll let you know when I start in case you're going to join along on Spotify. Hey Biz, welcome back. Okay, hope you're all getting a decent quality. I'm going to go ahead and start the playlist on earbuds. And if you're going to join along with your Spotify playlist, you can go ahead and start that now. And then find your way to balance out your volume and so that you can hear me clearly through the video. Most importantly, and so that you're not yourself out. Well, obviously, I'm throwing direction at you and so that you can exist inside for the next hour. And so with that in mind, the idea is that you allow my voice to kind of fade into the background. You know, any stories I might tell or thoughts that I may share, and they're really just being put out there as a source of relativity, and so you may find reference, you may not. And something that we were exploring in this morning's practice was this whole basis in America or in our culture that, you know, our life is really in so many ways been driven by doing better and doing more, right? And what that means to succeed and make money or develop yourself, be a better person, all of that. Well, you know, what if we toggle ourselves into a more mindful space as a human being, right? Dig deep and delayer all of those external influences, and so that we could see what we're most naturally gifted with. And from there we can discover our purest of passions, right? These are the things that come easy and really, you know, you may spend a lot of time doing them, but you're actually, what if the element that was greatest in our lives was simply doing that something as consistently as you possibly can? Not better. And so I offer you the space and for your mind to kind of journey with that as we move into our practice this evening. And let your feet separate nice and wide. Relax at the knees so your big toes are falling out. And you can rest your arms by your sides, or you can rest your hands on your belly, whichever feels better for you. And once you get settled, close your eyes, relax in your natural breath. You deflate your belly, feel your lungs empty. And be present to whatever your mind is saying, whatever your body is saying to you this evening. And discovering what it means, and to listen to your body, and to necessarily be, you know, kind of catapulted around and by your thoughts in your mind. And so even if your thoughts try to pull you off your mat, I encourage you to exist with that force and to learn more about that force, and to allow the weight of gravity to keep your body on your mat. And for the next hour, I'll hold that space for you. As you continue to soften, I really want to thank you all again for being here and for investing in yourselves in this practice. And by doing that, you're investing in all of your loved ones and all of your families and all of these stories that we're hearing about, you know, with people that are really suffering right now, that are really going through it. And if they're feeling it, then it means that we're feeling it, because we're all connected. And if you're not feeling it, don't put yourself down for that. But by engaging this practice and you're just kind of, shattering away some of the hard edges, and these things are subconsciously built up inside of us. These aren't choices that you've made, and so therefore you don't have to judge yourself for feeling or for not feeling. These are subconsciously built up inside of you. But these poses can break those hard edges down and to feel the oneness of our global community. And separate your feet and so that they're mat width distance apart. And you can relax your arms by your sides. Even take your arms up a little bit higher into a T, and then let both of your knees fall down to the left. And if you want to reset your shoulders and tuck your shoulder blades under, feel a release down your midline, and so you allow the twist and the compression of the twist to occur in the direction of your knees. Otherwise, keep your neck neutral. And soften your eyes and begin to realize that your breath is going to slow you down tonight. Even when you think you've reached the depth of slowing down, there's always an opportunity to slow down even more. When I talk about those subconscious things that have embedded themselves in your body, and the hardness into the approach, the way that if you ping off of somebody and find yourself in a disagreement, and this is actually an opportunity to learn and to grow, right, versus thinking that we need to be right or that we need to prove ourselves. You're sitting in a moment right now where what you do and how you process this change, it will literally influence generations to come. And all I'm saying or suggesting is to be aware of that, not to put on an extra weight or to feel any pressure, but to open up our eyes and from inside and to be aware of that. And if you turned your chin to one side, bring your chin back to center. And nice and easy, go ahead and roll your knees back up. And feel neutral in your hips. And feel neutral in your spine. May feel nice and to take a deeper breath in. And feel a light sigh through your exhale. And keep your feet nice and wide, legs are bent, and then go ahead and let your knees fall in the opposite direction. And again, you can take your arms up a little bit higher. And make any little adjustments in your shoulders, reset your head. And then close your eyes and just start to melt any tension through your midline. And little by little, gravity will take you deeper into the twist. find by expecting less of yourself and that you're actually processing a lot more. And so the processing speed, just like a computer, may have taken, weeks, if not months, if not years, and to understand and digest, and can happen in a single moment. As you remove the external influence and you break down and some of that subconscious and resistance, and these things translate right into the way that you see the world. And they translate into your opinions, into your approach. And keep letting the weight of gravity roll through your body, and so that you can release deeper and deeper, and there's a little bit more space every time you exhale, and for the body to go further into the compression, and which is going to lead us and eventually to the decompression. The chi flow running through our body, that and sending a different message to your mind. Hey guys, if you had your chin turned to one side, slowly bring your neck back to neutral. And then nice and easy, go ahead and roll your knees back to center. And feel your low back, feel your hips. And feel that softness and that space as you release, and from your belly all the way up. And there's absolutely no rush, but you can make your way through either side with a pillow, or I have my yoga block under my bum. And you can also sit on your shins and with a pillow or a block in between your feet. Anywhere where you feel most comfortable, and sitting upright with And once you're seated and your chest feels proud, take the tension out of your shoulders, let your elbows relax by your sides. And simply the chin comes down, so you're closing your throat and lowering your chin and softening your eyes towards the floor. For a while, and so you want to avoid fidgeting out of the seat. And bring your gaze and turn your thumb down, and then hook your left arm behind your back, so it's like a half bind. And so the left arm is behind your back. Take your right hand to the top of your head. And you relax the shoulders and keep the chest where it is, and then slowly start to bring your right ear and down towards your right shoulder. You should be able to feel into the left side of your neck, and top of the shoulder, and the AC joint. And if you didn't quite get it, then you can make little adjustments. And go ahead and close your eyes. You remove the idea of seeing anything outside of you, and start to feel everything that is developing in through this pose and this posture. the side of your neck, but into your chest and achiness and around your heart. It'd be very normal if you've been experiencing some turbulent and this one can really start to draw and some feelings and attached stories up to your mind. So, and please be gentle with yourself. You remain extra in following your mind. Let your mind do whatever it wants to do. And simply stay in the shape. And I want you to not breathe into the pose. Just let your breath and be as natural as possible. And so the opposite of what I'm normally asking you to do when we're in our flow practice. And please do not breathe into the pose. Just keep your breaths as natural as you can. And this should be pretty significant, you guys. Go ahead and slowly start to bring your head back up to center. You lift your right hand off your head and bring it down onto your right knee. And then soften your chin, slowly release your left hand down, and then bring it back around onto your left knee. And close your eyes and watch this space expand. And watch the sensations and the feelings that you might be getting. And to be patient and gentle with yourself, but notice if that's got you clenching your jaw. You wiggle your jaw a couple, your tongue relax. And then you can bring your eyes back into the room. Your right thumb down and bring that arm behind your low back. So hooking in a little half bind with your right arm, take your left arm up towards the ceiling. And rest your left hand on the top of your head. And so you're sitting without. You make any little adjustments and you should be feeling this in the right. Welcome to close your eyes. Sit with anything that is coming up, anything that you're feeling. You know that you're increasing the awareness and to be in connection and relatability with the oneness of everything that is going on right now. Soften the tongue, release the cheeks, and let your breath be natural, please. And the answer is yes, we are still here. Keep letting the pose break down through any of the resistance, and you want all of that expectation to fall away, all of the pressure, and that comes with expectation to fall away. And so you learn to simply be. Lift your left hand off the head and then bring it back down onto your knee. And slide your right hand down and then bring it back around onto your right knee. And go ahead and relax your chin, close your eyes, and feel the space releasing in through all of these sensations in your chest and through your shoulders and from the sides of your neck into the back of your tongue. And suppose the way to describe the rebound is kind of like a hollow feeling. And you think of the energy if you had, all of this stuff packed into your closet. And you open the door and all this shit just starts, or empty closet, and when you open the door, I'm sure there's some sensations in your legs, and so let's start to come out of your seat. You'll feel your hips and your hip creases, and you'll feel your knees back into your ankles. And when you make your way into your tabletop, keep your head heavy, and then just let your belly drop so your low back can extend a little bit. You might feel good to come into a gentle downward facing dog. Spread your fingertips wide, and we'll just feel some of this flow. Curl your toes, And then lift your knees, lift your hips up. And you can keep your knees a little bent in your down dog. It's a yin down dog, and so it's not about strength and length. It's just in feeling the inversion in the head below your heart. So take it nice and easy. And turn your chin side to side if that feels good. And take your chin up and down if that feels good. You might feel really nice and to open your mouth as wide as you can, stretch your jaw. And then soften your jaw, bring your lips back together. And come down onto your knees, please. And then we're going to bring your right foot forward in between your hands. And you can pad underneath your left knee if you've got a towel. And specifically, we want to keep one hand on each side of your front foot, and so that the front of your chest, right in the front of your shoulder, is going to connect into the top of your right knee. And so we're doing that, and to compress into the front deltoid, get your knee right into that pressure point, and take as much weight out of your right hand as possible. And then you get a little adjustment. You might have to lengthen your lunge a little bit. And just starting to relax here. This practice is guiding us in towards a more peaceful existence. It's actually knocking us down off of any pedestal. We don't need to be bad about the money. It's not about the fame. It's certainly not about the external fortune or what we can acquire in our lives. The beauty of equality, our ability to understand our fellow being, and to be with them in times of greatness and times of and please keep yourself there. That's our priority right now. And you'll get other sensations in your legs for sure. Maybe in your neck as you let your head fall. And don't worry with this, bit behind your right leg. And so your forearm is going to come in behind your knee. And then keep your right arm tucked. Use your left hand. And then start to bring your hips back onto your left heel. And so your right hand is going to and let yourself fold in and rest here. And notice any grip in your belly, and let your belly soften. bring this back into the forward again. And then slide your right knee back, and so you're on all fours. And then let's go ahead and lie down all the way onto our belly. And when you get down onto your stomach, and take your arms into a cactus shape. And take a few deeper breaths, and you'll feel your belly expand into the mat. Good. Place your forehead onto your mat. Bend your legs and separate your feet side to side. And stay on the path, everybody. It's all we can do. Bring your legs down and bring your hands back underneath your back. And then bring your hips back forward. And then we'll bring your left foot forward in between your. And so you don't want this overwhelming necessarily your hips. And you'll feel them for sure. You're in a lunge, but focus on getting. And then start to really settle in the weight of the upper body into the knee, and you can. Your chest back into your belly. Really, they go throughout the entire body. And for the second half of this pose, you're going to stay heavy here. And just go ahead and take your left arm behind your left knee. And once you get the forearm tucked in behind the knee, and we can start to bring the hips back, use your right hand and walk your hips all the way down to your right heel. Left hand is going to end up on your right thigh. And then back of your left knee into your forearm. And then you can start to let everything settle in. And feel any turbulence in your belly. And let it happen. And let peace and space happen.
And keep the head nice and heavy, you guys. Go ahead and take your left arm out. Lunge. And let's go ahead and come all the way down onto our belly. Left cheek down onto the ground. Feel a nice belly release, and then bring your forehead back down onto the mat and windshield wiper and your legs side to side. And pause your legs at center, slide your hands back underneath. And keep your head heavy. Might feel good again to take your hips back a little bit. A deeper breath, maybe a little sigh, and then bring your hips forward. And we'll do with what we have. And so if you have a yoga block, use that. If you have pillows, use them. If you have a blanket, roll it up. Or a towel, roll it up. And so basically you want that object towards the top of your mat in the middle. And we're going to come into a supported fish pose. And so once you get your object set, and turn around and bend your legs and then come back down onto your elbows. And you're going to scoot your hips up until you feel that object and right down the center line of your spine. And scoot yourself up high enough on that object and so that you can roll and let your head come all the way back and eventually down onto the ground. So it's just creating this openness and space into your chest. And again, use your feet. You adjust your hips up and down if you need to. And then once you feel good about where your torso is, you can let your legs go straight. And relax your arms in any shape that feels most comfortable. The supported fish pose. And relax every muscle on your face. take about one more minute in this shape, please. You notice the difference in the state of your mind. And your head is probably going to feel a bit heavy. So use your elbows and a little bit of strength in your belly. And begin to lift your head up. And just enough so that you can lean to your left side. And then take your right hand behind and remove the block or the pillows or the blankets or whatever object you had, and then go ahead and lie down onto your back once again. And as you lie down, let your hands rest onto your ribs. You should feel the most neutrality across your front body. And based on where we started this practice tonight and to where we are now, neutrality, balance. Lessening the energy of the critical mind. And softening our expectations, our beliefs, and sometimes even the things that have worked for us up to this point, letting go of that way of thinking and letting go of all ways of thinking, and so that we can truly connect into the oneness of all beings. In truth, I'm glad that we're all doing okay tonight. But now perhaps, and you can feel in that portal openness and awareness that there's a lot of people that are not. And we are part of, and that energy, we are a part of that person. And for our last pose this evening, let's go ahead and bend your legs. And we're going to come into a seated meditation. And so roll onto your left side. And then go ahead and make your way all the way up into a comfortable seat. And you can be cross-legged, or you can sit on your shins. And if you don't think that you're typically conditioned and for the more formal sense of meditation, if there's any time when you're going to be ready, now is that time. So come into your seat and lay the back of your hands on your inner thighs, or the tops of your thighs if you're sitting on your shins. Mind cleared out, jaw soft. The slightest bit of focus you can place
In the observation of your breath without changing it in any way, it should be pretty damn chill at this point. And let's meditate on the oneness and the interconnected state of all beings. Gently, I want to invite you to come back into your body and wherever you may have gone in your seat, wherever your mind may have gone, wherever your energy may have flowed to, and bring yourself back to your body. And it's a very powerful experience, and to be in this practice with each of you. And to encounter this state and then pursue the properties which you can observe, be in the process, be a part of the change. The ingredients, and that will lessen the pressure and the strain on our society, and to succeed and to compare ourselves into one another, but to really feel what it means to be human. Bring your palms together in front of your heart and rest your thumbs into your sternum and bow your chin into your chest. If you have any questions, if you have anything that you would like to share, please message me, reach out. And take your time here in gratitude. I hope you all have a beautiful rest of your evening, and I hope to see you for our morning practice tomorrow at 10 a.m. Pacific time. Peace and love, everybody. Namaste.